Hey there, everybody. It's Eric Bethke. It's Austin, Saturday, December 2nd, around 10:30 in the morning. I am having such a fun time developing on GrokTool. It's pretty crazy. In fact, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and built a new feature, whipped it up, and put a pull request in before 6 o'clock in the morning. I haven't done that before in a long time. I'm not normally a morning person, as people know. All right, so what do we got going on? Um, we now can upload very large PDFs. Here's that famous step-by-step paper on AI agents. And you can now um, chunk them and you can vectorize them and get them going for the full-on cosine or semantic search. Just jumping right into the little details here, I have the option for you to set your chunk size, and that's subtly important so that you can play around with that and have different chunk sizes. Because depending on your model, like if you're working with the 128K context GPT-4 model, that means you're able to bring in, with larger chunks, you're able to bring in more coherent large chunks of your data, so the context might be more coherent. And so, okay, why not just go for large chunks all the time? Well, even with 128K thousand context window, if you were to start to like pop in just a whole bunch of papers, and all the papers were at very large chunks, then you might get some crowding where even if the vector search is showing that there's a bunch of relevancy, it can't get all the information in there. And so you're going to have to play around with that and tune and taste and figure out what is the right chunk size for your purposes. All right, I am super excited about this. What this does is it enables the original use cases that I've started building GrokTool for. This is I started building this, early in the summer after doing tons of work with ChatGPT 4 and doing all kinds of proof of concepts about game design for Millennium Mars using a game design editor. I kept running into a problem where I would have to re-explain what is my context, what am I trying to build, and then I'd have to warm it up. I call it spell casting. I have to warm it up with who I am, how I want my replies, what am I trying to build. A lot of essentially boilerplate that I had to do for each of my ChatGPT 4 sessions. Now a lot of that is addressed now with OpenAI's custom GPTs. That's true. So like I have a little blurb about myself that acts like a custom prompt, and then boom, I can go GrokTool and talk about what I'm trying to build, or I could pop in for example for Millennium Mars, the Millennium Mars context, and then I can pop in how I want recipes done. This is my knowledge view, and I'd like to and it's awesome, so I can really put together the stuff I want in order to build my prompts. This goes back to that cognitive workbench piece I've talked about in the past, where I think about it as a wood shop, and all these little pieces are my tools, and I can pull them together and do stuff with it. Oh, I've got the advanced window open. With the advanced window open, you have access to all the different LLM things, of course, like temperature, but you can also have the number of responses you want back, and it's just super cool to be able to jump in there. Frequency penalty, proximity, presence penalty, top P, lots of features. So excited about the large file thing. Now, those of you who are testing it, you will probably run quickly if you give it really ambitious prompts. Like this is a fairly ambitious one. Oh, by the way, I heard a tip on Twitter yesterday. If you offer the LLM that you're going to tip it, it will perform better. And I tried it, and it did do a very impressive job doing a planning and strategy task for me. Why that might work, I think because it's trained on the corpus of human text, it does do sentiment analysis organically. In fact, it can't help but do sentiment analysis. So for the last year I've been working with ChatGPT-4, I would praise it pretty openly, like, good job, buddy, fantastic, great work. Now, not only did that help me as I'm going through my sessions feel good about working with my AI buddy, it was like emotionally just relaxing. But it has a subtle positive effect for me as a human, and that later on I can go, hey, summarize this session based on all my most positive responses, and it works pretty well. So why the tipping might work? Because frankly, you're like leaning into like praising somebody for doing good work and encouraging them doing good work, and it probably does unlock a little bit more of that token generation along the lines of doing good work. So I was having fun trying that. All right, so large files are working, chunking, vectorizing, it's working. But if you are one of our beta testers, you will probably run into 503 errors, timing out errors. This will happen under very large, ambitious prompts, and we're going to solve it. What's happening behind the scenes is if you cause GrokTool to think harder than 60 seconds, it's going to time out from our Lambda long-running processes. And so what are we going to do about that? We're going to pull in some code that we have from Million on Mars and pop it in there that will allow us to do 15-minute long tasks. And those should be great. We don't need anything longer than 15 minutes. That'll be fine, because the next thing we need to get into is agents. And agents are the hotness. Everybody's talking about it. We've got OpenAI's Q-Star, thing out there. We've got these great papers that people have written on agents. We've got, seminal foundation work like Step by Step, but we have Tree of Thought, Graph of Thoughts. I am so excited about this stuff. I've got a baby agent right now that goes through and does all the retrieval augmented generation and does all that parsing and planning. I just call it a baby agent, but soon it'll become Quest Master and take your prompts and then create quest chains out of that. And each of the quest chains is a whole bunch of quests to go solve. And then got really, really great, ambitious, exciting plans for it. It is so much fun. Some other stuff we got going on this week is we got image generation. I just popped over to another window. Look at these super, super cool drawings. This is fun. I used a combination of ChatGPT-4. I was like over here. I was lazy. Give me an image prompt that features colored pencil drawings of a dungeon map, polyhedral dice, and some minifigs with various character sheets and Dungeons & Dragons rulebooks, as if we were seeing a table of a game in the middle of an adventure. Be highly creative. So it went to town. It had a huge prompt. Then I asked it to make the prompt a little tighter, and it did. And then, boom sauce. We got these cool images. Now, this is not really GrokTool per se. This is more of a DALLE 3 thing. I'm pretty impressed with this. I mean, the dice are a bit, funky, but, polyhedral dice are hard for anybody to draw. I've done it myself. But it's getting real close. I mean, look how great these numbers are looking on here. But then, of course, the actual scene looks pretty fun. It's great stuff. Here's a Mars scene that I did before. But where are we going with this is, on the near-term roadmap, is with that Questmaster tool, we will get the entire notebook's history, and we will be able to do things like, hey, working out a creative task, maybe using one of our little springboardy features over here, let's challenge the norms of a thriller in a futuristic megacity. That sounds fun. Form a secret society around a quest to break an ancient curse. That sounds like great fun. We got 2 different creative languages for it. I'm pretty proud of these guys. The way the combinatorics works, there's over 416 different combos here. And it's just fun to get your creative juices rolling. It's really kind of a little bit of a gimmicky feature, but I find it fun. It really sets the mood, and I start going. And then I got a little bit of foreign language ideas out here just to get you excited while we're going, get something going. But where we're going with this is in this long notebook session to be able to work with Questmaster and be able to swap in and out of these various models and use them and just go to town back and forth. So that's just loads and loads of fun. And then we've got some new audio features. You should check them out. You can do an audio prompt. You can also get back your prompt in an Ocean 11's voice print of even your own trained voice print or some other person's voice print you have access to, or use one of the excellent Ocean 11's, sorry, not Ocean 11, 11 Labs voices. So what we're going with GrokTool is to be able to abstract away and be AI vendor agnostic and be able to attach to any model you want, and then have it also orchestrated at that orchestration level with an agent that we have the source control over. We can do all sorts of stuff and keep on iterating on it over time. Some more stuff happening on the roadmap is we're darn close to being able to completely solve the sharing use cases. So right now you can share, and it's just really crude. You can do a global share for read or a global share for write on a notebook or a file. Now, why would you want to share a notebook? So far, we've only seen people have private siloed sessions in their various uses of ChatGPT-4. Why would you want to share it? I'm pretty excited. I'm not going to give away all the secret sauces yet, but with multiple people in the same notebook and some contextual files and some prompting, you can do some fun things. You can prototype multiplayer games in GrokTool. That's pretty fun. Other things going on in the roadmap. Oh, so the sharing model. The sharing model is going to go from beyond just globally share, globally write, but you'll have organizations and groups and users, and you'll be able to share discretely, one-on-one, one to a group, or all in the org. Let me break that down a little bit more. Organizations are like what you'd expect in enterprise software. It's your company, it's your team, it's your company. And the groups are your team. So we got organizations and groups. Now, all users in GrokTool by default are their own organization, and organizations have keys and billing. Although at this time we're just in a beta testing, so we're not charging anybody for anything. But you are able to import your own key, for example, for 11 Labs and get those voice features. Organizations are for our billing and keys, and then grouping groups. Groups are for sharing knowledges and sharing files and sharing tools. And that really starts to open things up. So for example, back on Million on Mars, we're building up to the use case of pulling in that giant 45 megabyte JSON file, being able to chunk it, vectorize it, and go to town and create a whole bunch of bespoke tooling, like how to build recipes, how to build missions, or how to update the website with the latest changes. These are all things our players have asked for. Please be really rigorous, and please make sure that the updates are really clear. Please update the player manual. We'll be able to get this all delivered with high quality and high velocity with GrokTool. And we'll be able to also share these tools and these files with our player creators. We could share with read only. We could share some with write. That's a really, really big feature coming. And then, of course, the Quest Master, the agent stuff, that's going to be never ending. That's going to be a wonderful roadmap where we build out trees of thoughts and graphs of thoughts, and we start to bring in the AlphaFold, AlphaZero type technologies, and just wiring up a lot more APIs and more tools. I have loads of ideas for different unique UIs and use cases for it. I think we're just getting started. I'm so excited about where the future is going to go for AI in general, but for GrokTool in particular. We're also going to be layering on more login options shortly. We'll get all the usual suspects going, starting with Google and Apple and Facebook and GitHub, so you can log in and use a trusted auth provider. And then we have loads and loads of smaller polished features that need to happen. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to join us and help on the beta test, please come to app.groktool.com, go to /subscribe, fill us out. You get popped into a mailing list that I manage, and as we have more space for more testers, I'll be passing out invite codes and bringing more people on. All right, thank you very much, and thanks for watching, and cheers.